Boys and girls, last week we took the time to make 4 practice drawings in our sketchbook. If you haven't completed that, make sure that you complete that first before starting this next step. Miss Georgia O'Keeffe looked very closely at her subject matter when she was drawing, no matter what she was drawing. If it was a bone, if it was a leaf, if it was a friend or a building, all of those things, she looked at them closely. So you should be getting out those worksheets that we talked about last week. I also want you to pick up a puzzle because we are actually going to be turning this work of art into a puzzle. So our first step is to open up our sketchbook to our next page. And we are going to go ahead and trace the shape of the puzzle. And we will be doing one more practice step. So we will take out our sketch, our worksheet showing us the specific leaf that we're going to be drawing. We'll have that ready to go. I have mine all set. It's setting over to the side. And now I'm tracing the shape of the puzzle. And I'm making sure that I get it as precise as possible. Then I'm putting the puzzle aside. We're not going to be drawing on that quite yet. And then after I have that set, I wasn't happy with my first drawing, so I'm just going to redraw it a second time on another sheet of paper in my sketchbook. That may happen while you're doing yours as well. Let's be careful while we make our art. So I have the shape, and our first step will be to focus on making a picture frame for our leaf drawing. Miss O'Keeffe did not add a picture frame to her drawings and paintings, but we are going to be changing that a bit and creating a picture frame. And so I'm doing a random design. I'm not using symmetry, but you could certainly use symmetry as you're designing this. That's much too far out, so I'm going to erase it. I want my frame to be a tiny frame, so it fits into that frame area that's already on those puzzles that you have. And now if you remember from when we first started drawing our leaves last week with our 4 practice drawings, we need to draw the shape of the leaf. And I selected a challenging leaf. I'm hoping that you do so as well. I know there are some really simple leaves for you to select from, but now that we've practiced quite a bit, we should be able to select a more complicated leaf. So if you notice, my stem is not just one line, it's 2 lines next to each other. And remember, we talked about how important that is when you're drawing a leaf, not to just use one line for the veins and for the stem of the leaf. Otherwise, the nutrients will not be able to travel to the ends of the leaf. So I'm going to finish. I'm really looking closely at that leaf as I'm sketching, so I had to pause a bit while I was drawing so I could look again at it. I have that double line, very important. And I'm going to do the same with each of the veins, making sure I have 2 lines that are next to each other. We're also going to be shading these veins in, so it's important that we have space to be able to do that. Each time I take a moment and pause is the time that I'm really looking closely at that leaf. So I'm all finished up. I have a couple more veins to do and I should be all set. So boys and girls, I'm now going to pick up my puzzle. I've practiced enough. I should have 5 different leaf drawings at this time. And these puzzles are very precious, so we want to make sure that we've done that practicing first. I've noticed I don't have a completely flat surface, so I'm going to put a book underneath it. I slid it under the red paper so it would be out of the way. And now I'm going to begin drawing that frame that we had started first with. So you can see I'm still using that same design and pattern. If I wanted to change it at this point, I could. But I'm needing to make sure that the frame is within the same frame of the puzzle. So we're a bit restricted on our size. We don't want to have it larger than our puzzle pieces. And now I will begin that leaf again. So boys and girls, make sure you pick up a sheet of all the different leaves and select a leaf to work from. Enjoy.